Hello again, 'tis me. I'm back with another book review for you today. A cheeky little fast-paced thriller with all the twisty twists. One of my favourite kind of book, so I'm excited to go through it with you today. As you know, I'm Kirsten and this is my Book Corner, your one-stop shop for book reviews, book lists and book recommendations. Before I get cracking with the review, pull up a chair, let's get cosy, let's get comfy, get a little drinky. I have some Barocca in here. It's always the blackcurrant flavour that I go for, it's my fave. And now we've got that out the road, let's get cracking. Ooh, thriller day. I love thrillers. I love a fast-paced book. These books are my palate cleanser. I love to read a cheeky thriller, especially when I've just been through something a lot more meaty. It just settles me. Weird, but I also do watch true crime to help me get to sleep, so I mean it goes hand in hand, right? Today I am reviewing a thriller that I read earlier on this year. It was a gift from my son's girlfriend for Christmas. She gave me a little bundle of thriller books. She knows me very well, and it was a really thoughtful and kind gift. I really appreciated it, and this is the first one out of that bundle that I read. I am talking about none other than The Serial Killer's Wife by Alice Hunter. Now, as the sticker on here says, it has actually been made into a TV series now, but I haven't watched any of it. I have literally only read the book, so I'm afraid I can't tell you whether the series is any good. I can just tell you about the book. Now, this book pretty much does what it says on the tin. It's not overly complex. It's not groundbreaking by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a really solid thriller. Gives you the pace, gives you the twists and turns that you need from a book like this, and I really enjoyed reading it. The story follows Beth, whose husband, Tom, is suspected of and then later arrested for being a serial unaliver, as it says on the tin. This kind of follows Beth as she deals with the aftermath of that. It goes through the impact on her life, on her family, on her relationships and friendships. She obviously also goes into detective mode where the thrillerness ensues. And the question on everybody's lips is, how can you live with someone and be married to them and then be a serial killer and you not know? That's the big question. Now, I find that this happens quite a lot in some of the thrillers that I read. There's not overly a lot of character development. They're very, very focused on plot. That's why they're so fast-paced. So I didn't see a whole lot of character development. I thought some of the side characters in some of the side characters in particular were pretty 2D, but then you're seeing everything from Beth's point of view. So maybe she sees everybody as pretty 2D. That could very well be the case. I was getting mad Stepford Wives vibes off of this village that she lives in. Everyone's just a little bit weird. Now, I don't live in a little village. It could well be like that if you're a newcomer to town or whatever, but it was definitely creepy. There were moments I thought everyone was in on it, which I suppose is a good thing. It's kept me on my toes. I didn't know what was going on. And I suppose the focus was really on keeping me as the reader guessing. So it made sense that the characters weren't overly padded out because everyone's a suspect in these kind of stories. And I did find it really hard to connect with Beth in particular. I was seeing everything from her viewpoint, but I felt like she was just a bit of a moany bitch. She was just whiny. So I wasn't really on her side as much as you can be sometimes in these kind of books. There were, however, plenty of twists and turns. There were red herrings thrown in there. There were some that were a little bit more obvious than others. There was one moment where I literally yelled out, "I knew it!" when one of them finally came to a head. There were clues kind of peppered everywhere. It really allowed the suspicion to seep in. I literally did not trust anybody in this book. There were also some really good little intricacies that I really, really liked. It's tiny little details that can sometimes pull me out of the story, like in Beth's house, there's like a beam across the ceiling on the way down the stairs and you need to duck to make sure you don't bump your head on it. And the author did not forget that any time she went down the stairs. And I really like that because I think when that is missed on one occasion, I notice it. And I notice it a lot and it pulls me out of the story. So I liked the little attention to detail that went into a lot of these visuals within the story. This was an incredibly popular book when it was first released, and I can totally see why. It is fast-paced, it's easy to read and digest. A good solid meat and potato thriller is sometimes the best way to go about this kind of book. And this one delivered on the meat and potatoes. It's not groundbreaking, as I said before, but it was a really solid, enjoyable read. There was no meandering through meaningless details. Everything kind of had a purpose. And I gave it 3 stars overall, and I'm really glad that I read it. The only reason I didn't go for a 4 or a 5-star read because it was solid, quite tropey, slightly, I don't want to say predictable because there were some bits that did surprise me, but there were bits that I pieced together quite early on. But it was really enjoyable. Love a good thriller. I'd love to hear if you read it. Did you guess all of the twisty twists, or were there some that, like me, managed to stay hidden until the very end? I have a love-hate relationship with guessing twists. I feel very proud of myself, and I'm like, yes, I knew it. But then at other times I really enjoy when something surprises the bejesus out of me. It's good fun. And I'm always kicking myself. I'm like, oh, that was so obvious. When really it was not obvious. And there you have it, folks, my review of The Serial Killer's Wife by Alice Hunter. If you haven't read it and you love a good cheeky summer read, something you can get through nice and quickly, on a sun lounger or on a plane, on holiday, enjoying the last remnants of the summer, pick this up. It's definitely worth reading. I will be back in a couple of days' time. As always, I am here Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so I will be back on Monday with my weekly roundup of this week. It's been an interesting and very wide-ranging week this week. Oh dear. As always, let me know what you think. Give me some suggestions on what you'd like to see next. Have a cheeky look at my blog, see what I've read already this year. I've got the link to the blog in my description, along with a cheeky link to the book. And if you want to see more and keep up to date with my videos, give a little slap to the subscribe button and you will be told when I post new content. Thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate it, and I will speak to you in a couple of days. Cheerio!